What's up? Alright, we're gonna try to get this thing done. So, it's been a while. I think. Hold on one second. I gotta put this over here so that I can see myself talking to you. So it's been a while. It's a thing, in a thing, with a thing, yeah. None of the comics below me are updated. The stream is off the rails. It's been less than a month, and I've already abandoned it for a month. We're gonna try not to do that anymore. What happened was, so many things happened. I had a couple deadlines that ran into each other, and then shortly after that, I had a hurricane roll through the state. So I didn't know how long the hurricane was going to knock out power for, if it was going to knock out power. So I basically panicked to try to do as many comic books as possible. And then I came back from the hurricane and I was exhausted, but still had to work because I still had deadlines. It was a shit show. The comics I did were very good. However, I was very tired and I was not able to do the extra stuff, meaning the stream. So where we last left it, we were working on the kids down here in the cruiser, and something I wanted to talk about real quick is I was very zoomed in when I was working because I was trying to make a good stream and, you know, have you guys be able to see everything. And I was so zoomed in that I was like, oh, these values work, you know, like this looks good, and it does look good. If this was the cover, looks fine, but it's not the cover, or it's not the double page spread. It's this. So the thing that bothers me about the values that are down here is that they kind of blend together. They have similar value to like the stuff in the background. They have similar value to like the stuff around them. Like you look at the bikes over here and they have this like darker side that's like back here in this area. And then they got a lighter side over here and they have some real like shape and volume to them. And they go darker than the background areas and like lighter than the background areas too. So they kind of like, they pop really well, and the kids don't. So we're going to try to fix that before we start working on Spider-Man, and then put special effects down, and we're going to get all this shit done today. We are going to, because you know why? Because I want to actually work on something else. I don't want to do this anymore, and we're kind of stuck with it. This is such a complex image that, like, it just took a lot of streaming to get it done. So we're gonna try to and you know, in the previous stream that I'm sure nobody remembers, but if you're watching VODs of this and you're like, oh, no time has passed between, you know, the last VOD and this VOD, in the previous stream I kind of like knocked out the edge here. I was trying to I was trying to solve what I'm trying to solve now. I was trying to like make this pop forward. And I had the right instinct, but the wrong execution. It was like kind of fading back. And yeah, you're right, Magi. Like the busy images do that, and this image is real busy. This is not something that is an easy thing to color. So instead of trying to knock out the line work to like make it pop, it like that only made it more busy. So we're gonna try to instead. So I've selected the car and I'm deselecting this like greenish like highlight thing that's on everybody. This is supposed to be the cityscape in the background, which is actually going to make more sense once we get into putting special effects down on everything. The special effects are going to make the city like glow, and when the city glows, all this secondary light source stuff is going to make a whole lot more sense. This dude has some green on him, but maybe we'll leave that. Maybe we'll leave the stuff in the car. So I'm just going to try to take a dark gradient, like this dark red here, right over here. And I'm going to try to just pull it through 50%, multiply, and just see how it looks. Everybody cross your fingers. Are you clapping at home? Tinkerbell dies otherwise. It's not too bad. Yeah, like we can go real dark with it though. So maybe red on red was not the right idea though. We can try a dark blue instead. We're trying a dark blue because someone at home did not actually clap. No, someone wasn't. Steve, was it you? Steve. All right. The blue worked a little better. Steve, I'm glad you started clapping. Fingers and toes crossed. I appreciate it, Magi. The blue worked a little better. So by doing that, like I can go back and show you what's going on. So we went from like this is a busy image to like the car feels more solid. And it's, you know, it's a small thing, but like you also got to think about like what the focus of the image is. And if like the kids in the car are fighting with Spider-Man for focus, then we fucked up, you know? Like the kids in the car are important, but they're not as important as Spider-Man. Spider-Man is usually the most important thing on the page. So we're going to get into Spider-Man. Let's finally do that. I knocked him out, right? Yeah. Okay, we're going to do the webbing last, because that stuff's going to be complicated. But we're going to do the actual body first. I kind of want to go... I've been working light to dark for a lot of this image. Hey, Kate. I've been working light to dark for a lot of this image. We're going to try doing Spider-Man in the reverse. So I'm going to just go real dark on Spidey. And now he's like really popping forward because he's like the darkest thing on the page now. Sup, boys? Vamp Hamhaws in the chat. Let me see him. Did the boys just get up from his nap? That's adorable. Alright, let's get into Spidey. Yeah, there we go. Alright. So, sleep is hard. I actually been getting up at like 7 a.m. because my dog De Niro has been going to see his cardiologist, and we only have one car, so I've been driving my fiance to work, and I am also exhausted, but sleep is for the weak, and we're gonna get this done. We are gonna fucking get this done. We're just gonna maybe we should try something else. Let's try taking blue and just like painting some stuff in. Sleep is important. I know. I am sleeping. I'm very tired, which is allowing me to make these terrible decisions that you're about to watch. But perhaps you've been not sleeping, and that's how you ended up here with this terrible decision. Terrible decisions all around. Oh, good Lord. I'm going to have to get up and turn that fan on, by the way. I am sorry. It is hot in Florida. I thought I could do it. I thought that, you know, man, we can do this because it's night, but no. Turns out night in Florida is still hot. And the monitor is still hot, and everything is hot, and we've made terrible decisions here. Shape dynamics. What is going on with this brush? Off. Brush projection, is that? Yeah, that's what's going on. All right. They're not super warm. They're like just a little bit. But I also have, it's not that the Cintiq is very warm. It's that like the Cintiq and the monitor over there and the monitor over here and the computer down there that's 10 years old, that's like chugging along, is they're all like they all end up in a very hot place. And so here we are with the fans on. I'm hoping that the new computer that I will soon have, which I'm like stoked on, will keep things a little cooler. So we're just gonna go in and like, you know, a little bit of blue at a time. Like this, what we're doing right now is actually not super light compared to the blue that's already down, but Spider-Man kind of has like a navy blue kind of anyway to him, and we're gonna do a secondary light source with the same secondary light source that's on the car and on the guys over here. We're gonna do that on Spider-Man too. He deserves it. He's worked hard. RGB lightning RAM, of course, and other computer jargon that I've heard about online. Can you download speed somewhere? I'm sure you can. So, yeah. I'm sorry this got put off for so long. It was not my intention, but it got... This is a very complex image, and it's taken a lot of multiple sessions to get done. And when that happens, I'm like still trying to figure out the streaming stuff. Yeah, I'm excited for the PC to boost my performance as well. There's a lot of things that I do that the PC, my 10-year-old computer, like really slows down on, that I'm very excited to like put on a RAID 0 solid state drives. Like I'm excited to put the OS and Photoshop on that and like see if it just like smoking fast. The stuff that like my computer really chugs on that is really annoying is when I have to make JPEGs for like when a book is done. Like opening an entire book takes a lot of effort for my computer to do, and then like running a action for every page takes a lot of effort for my computer to do, and it just like adds up to just me just sitting here for like an hour, which is like no good. My time is valuable, and I don't want to sit here for an hour. But you know, we're figuring it out. We're taking care of the problem. The thing is that like I've been doing that for so long that like I didn't even notice, and then one day I was working on my fiance's laptop, and it was just like way more responsive. It's way newer, and I was just like, oh, right. I forgot that I've been slumming it for years and years and years, and you should not own things that are 10 years old, technology-wise. But, you know, whatever. It's fine. We're going to deselect the red. So, Spider-Man 2099 has, like, a honeycomb pattern or something, like, on him. He's got, like, a tech suit, but, like... And I remember that off-stream, I messed with, like, making a suit brush thing, like a honeycomb, like, thing that would, kind of, like, lay down a pattern and stuff. And it looked like garbage. It looked like hot garbage. Yeah, hex pattern equals future. Yeah, I think that's what people were thinking. This was made in, I don't even know, like 94, I want to say. Maybe earlier than that. Hex pattern was future back then. But, they didn't put the hex pattern on back then. They did it, like, in new stuff. Yeah. See, yeah, it's like a newer thing. So, like, Spider-Man 2099 shows up in, like, video games, and he's got this hex pattern, and within, like, the hexes, like in between the hexes, there's like a glowing, like pulsing, like wave of light, and I was like, that's awesome, we should do that for this. But like Rick and Al didn't really like draw the drawing like that, and this is something that I've had a problem with lately. I'll let you in on this. It turns out when you make art in any capacity, even after 15 years, you think, oh, it'll get easier, right? No, it never does. It's always like the end result gets better as you go, but it never gets easier. Like it's never like, oh man, well that comic just like flowed right out of me, no problem. It's always like, fuck, how do I make this better? Fuck, this is not going to be good. People are going to understand that I've been faking it this whole time and my career is over. No, I mean, like, I understand that I at this point in my career and in 15 years in, I have the self-confidence to be like, I'm doing good work, but it is not easy to continue to do good work. So, gosh, what was I was talking about doing good work, and I forgot what it was in relation to. Shit. Oh, so I was doing this thing with, like, I would get really emotionally involved in projects, and before I would even see the art, like, they'd be like, hey, do you think you can do these issues or covers? I did this for the Realm, like, because the Realm is like D&D, like post-apocalyptic, like, Fallout magic, like, thing that is like totally in my wheelhouse. And I was like, oh, I'm gonna do it like this, and I'm gonna look at, I looked at all this reference that I loved, and I was like, this thing is gonna be amazing. Like, I'm so on board. I had like an idea, but like as a colorist, the value of my work is in like, how do I make this in front of me look better? And if I'm trying to do these, like, I don't know, like fit the art that is in front of me into this box that like doesn't work, then like I'm fucking it up. Like I'm not making the strongest work possible. Yeah, so it's like, it's tough to I did that 3 times this year before learning my lesson, where I would get overly excited about something, and then I'd be like, oh, it's gonna be sick, I'm gonna do it like this, and then like the thing comes, like I actually get the pages in, and I'm like, oh god, I can't do that, I've just wasted time, that's all I've done. But I don't know, it's also like, you can't really beat yourself up that much about it, because like with anything, with any project, you're gonna like understand it more and more the more time you put into it, unless you're just doing the same thing over and over and over again, but that shit's boring. I don't want to do the same thing over and over and over again. I want to do like new stuff. So yeah, I did that 3 times this year and paid for it every time, and now I'm just kind of like, we'll wait to see pages, then we'll do the thing. So adding the hex, long story short, adding the hex pattern onto his suit was me getting excited about this before realizing, oh, this idea is terrible for this art. You know? So here we are. No hex pattern. I know that the only reason I even brought it up is because I know that I brought it up in a previous video, and I don't want trolls in the chat being like, well, you said technically, I'm gonna get that like same comment for the next like 4 years on YouTube. I don't understand. Weren't you gonna show us about the hex brushes? No, YouTube. No. So we kind of went in and put some new blue down, and we're kind of gestured in where we want everything as far as highlights. But like I said, super rough. I don't even know if I like this highlight on his head, but it's drawn in there. It's weird because he's lit from below, and then he's like the top of his head is shiny. And I know he's got like the back, I don't know why those are selected. The back top like green that we're gonna put in, and maybe that's what that is. I don't know. We'll figure it out. So I deselected all the dark blue, and we're gonna just put a grad through the thing. We're gonna put a blue grad through Spider-Man on screen, mode set to screen. Obviously, we're also on screen, and we're just gonna drop it through. Because we want to like really light them from below. And I'm gonna bump the microphone, maybe. Let's not bump the microphone. Alright, I just wanted to hide the little crawlies of the selection because I wanted to actually really see this thing. Let's set screen to 100. Oh yeah, now we're getting somewhere. Now it's starting to look. But see, so now we can kind of like go in and make more careful, thoughtful selections out of this. So, and let me explain how that's going to go. We're going to be using like, now this is the single greatest color, you know, the highest high that Spider-Man has. The same highlight up here is much darker, as you can see from the ring. So we can use this value to put like highlights through Spider-Man, and it's still like kind of the same because he's like, you know, it's his same mask here, the same value, same color. Excuse me. So and then we're gonna do kind of the same thing up here. Like we're taking this color and we're like, okay, let's take that color and do like 50% and kind of like use that to like inform how we're gonna do down here as well. So, and because this is a superhero book, we're gonna spend a lot of time polishing crotches. Thank you. It turns out owning a dog and then bringing him to the small animals hospital will leave you with allergies all day. But I saw a lot of cute older dogs, and that was adorable. I saw another dog with 3 legs. My dog has 3 legs. Yeah, so this is the thing. Here's the dirty little secret. Colorists who work on superhero books, we polish a lot of crotches. There's no way around it. Everybody's in spandex. Crotches are there. Some artists, they choose to avoid the crotch. They put shadows on the crotch. This crotch shadowed, but other artists, the more freaky, the more kinky artist will accentuate the crotch. It really just depends. Depends on the book. Depends on the age group. And I'm tweaking some of the blue here, so we're gonna select all of Spider-Man again. Digitally enhance the crotch. No, that's for the special editions that come out. Did they digital enhance the crotch in the Superman movie? Is that a real thing? Are you bullshitting me? I didn't know about that. If they did do that, I feel like Warner Brothers could have gave me a call I feel like they could have gave me a call. I'm a little bit hurt that I was not credited as crotch consultant. We're gonna try. So we're still kind of like, this is the most important part of like this whole thing, because everybody who looks at this image is gonna go, "Oh, Spider-Man, my friend," and so everyone's gonna look at like, we rendered the shit out of the kids in the car and the fucking speeder bikes and stuff, and like nobody's gonna care. So maybe we shouldn't have, in retrospect, if I was like, you know, doing this page for work and I needed to do it quickly, I would have put probably the most effort into Spider-Man, and then kind of like let the chips fall with that where they may with the rest of it, as far as like what I have time for. Because at the end of the day, books gotta get out on time, and of course you want to do the best work you can, but you know, we're like a half a step away from just straight up digital painting this thing. At any rate, so we're still like fairly loose with what we're doing here, and some of these values, like this blue down here, is like a little bit gray, like this thing right here. I don't like that, so we're gonna mess with the sliders in a minute and make all of this really blue. And we're gonna pop some highlights, but we're gonna refine as we go from here. Oh my god, metal cod pieces? Do you think those are collector's items? Superman's metal cod piece from Justice League. I assume it's Justice League. Maybe just regular Superman movie. Those are probably collector's items, right? Look, if you're okay, Man of Steel. Of course it's Man of Steel. Are you kidding me? Of course it's Man of Steel that they did that for. Oh, Returns. It's not Man of Steel. I mean, he is the Man of Steel. Okay, so YouTube, because I don't know how long this will stick up on. I don't know how long this will stay on Twitch. YouTube, let's get serious, all right? Twitch, it's out of the room. It's in the past. It's not even live right now. You know, I don't know where those people are in life anymore. They've long abandoned Twitch, just like I have. But in the comment section below, if you have that Superman cod piece, let me know. I'm interested. I'm interested in how you acquired it. I am interested in what it looks like. I have so many questions. Contact me. Find me. Bring the cod piece to a comic convention. I've done Superman comics. I will sign it. But above all, don't make it weird. Oh my god, I'm reading this wall of text and it's nuts. They put poor Christopher Reeve in various assortments of sizes of cod pieces under the suit in the red underpants, and some days Christopher would come out and he'd be out to here, which would make me go ding 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 ding, Flick's cod piece, because they were all metal. Oh my god. Wow. You know, maybe I should have been an actor. Maybe I should have been an actor. Seems like they're having fun. I don't know what's going on down here, by the way. Let's just move on from this leg. Alright. We're just kind of gesturing in highlights now. And we're going to refine all this stuff. And we should have highlighted this stuff. this is definitely a hard highlight. And then the side of the foot. The foot is such a bizarre shape. It's like a, I don't know. Did somebody, I believe somebody in the chat, maybe it was Magi, said that Spider-Man has hoof feet, and he's definitely got something going on in this image. We're gonna try to like not accentuate the hoof feet. We're gonna try to maybe like just try to not make you look at the hoof feet. Maybe. Yeah, Man of Steel. Yeah. Yeah. Hoof feet. I don't know if that was the best choice, but it might have been just the way like Spider-Man was drawn back then. I know like McFarlane was very popular at the time. His run on Spider-Man like influenced a lot of people, and his anatomy is kind of all over the place. In like a fun way, but like definitely all over the place. Let's try to just refine this stuff a little bit. Alright, so that's starting to come together. Let's move on to the torso. And then after we kind of like do this general kind of thing, we'll, how many legs would a Spidey centaur have? I don't know. If a centaur got bitten by a radioactive spider and then mutated into the Spider-Man with like 6 arms. Yeah. You remember that Spider-Man? That was a good Spider-Man. They still use that? I don't even know what that Spider-Man was called. All I know is I remember seeing... Was he one of the clones? He might have been one of the clones. God, my Spider-Man history is bad. I wrote a Spider-Man pitch. I haven't showed it to anybody yet, though. I don't know if I should show it to anyone. Sometimes I'm like, I'm a writer. And then other times I'm like, don't show this to anyone. So Spider-Man, I think it was one of the clones that had he had 6 arms and then 2 regular legs, but I feel like it could have gone the other way and still been cool. Like if he was just like, oh my god, I have 2 arms and 6 legs, and like my legs are coming out of my abdomen, or like yeah like out here, and he's like, oh, what I do now, that Spider-Man, his main method of attack is he just grabs you and kicks you to death. Just like, you know, they recover the corpse and they're like, this man was trampled to death. You know, that kind of thing. Original? Yeah, an original Spider-Man pitch? Yeah. Here's the thing. So, a lot of writers, like, go to comic book cons and they're like, hey, do you wanna help me achieve my dream of writing comics? I'm a comic book writer, and that's fine, you know, but you have to be very good to be a comic book writer and like convince people to get on board, simply because everybody's got ideas, you know. Like, you think I'm gonna work 15 years in comics and like not have an idea? No sir. So I kind of feel like the writers, as far as like breaking in, have it the toughest. Not only do they have to convince somebody to give them a shot to like even make any kind of art, but like they also have to I don't know, this highlight is too high for back here. We're off the rails because I'm talking to chat. Yeah, we gotta darken some of this up a little bit. But they're also like, nothing they have is visual, and it's like, you know, it's tough to be like, hey, I'm a writer, please read my script, because it's like, I can look at comic book pages and be like, hire that guy, hire that guy, hire that guy in like less than a minute. But But when it comes to writing, I'm like, fuck, man, I don't know. Like, not only have I sat here for a half a day and read scripts, but it's just like, shit. I don't know. Like, any of this stuff in the right hands. That's the thing, too. It's like, most, like, original ideas, Spidey is very shiny. Most, like, original ideas would be good in the right hands, but it's just like, you know, you have creators like this doing Spider-Man would be kind of bad for something like Concrete, or like, maybe not Concrete, but like Milk and Cheese, you know. I don't know if you guys are aware of Evan Dorkin and Milk and Cheese, but they are dairy products gone bad, and they fuck shit up, and they drink gin, and it makes them mean. It's great. It's a great comic. It was one of my favorites when I was in high school, and I was like trying to figure out like what comics could be, you know. Milk and Cheese blew my mind. I was just like, holy shit, you can make stuff like this and put it out? Like, this is amazing. It still blows my mind. It's still good. I still crack up when I read it. But what was I saying? Shit, man. Train of thought working while talking. Spidey and the Archie Sonic. Is an Archie Sonic universe a thing? $1,000 idea. Let's, you know, $500 idea. You're almost there. So Spidey's there. He's in the Archie Sonic universe, but like, why? Is it because we can spitball a plot right now. All right? Archie, Veronica, and Betty heard a rumor that the new gym teacher is see, now I don't know a whole lot about Archie these days. Do they get like racy? Do they get weird? Dr. Eggman and Dr. Octopus. They swap places. Yeah, all right. So Dr. Eggman and Dr. Octopus swap places, and in an effort to be rejoined, they find themselves in the same Archie universe instead. Like, they're working on the same project at the same time to swap back. And unbeknownst to them, they didn't account for, you know, them both to be working at the same time, and they pop up in the Archie world, like halfway. Archie's halfway between universes. Sure, it's like a tangible thing. It's like, oh, universe 1's over there, universe 2's back that way, or universe 3's back that way, and this is Archie. Yeah. So yeah, they end up there. I was gonna say, Dr. Kirk Connors, the Lizard, is in the Archie universe, and he is doing testing on human subjects at Riverdale, and he's the new gym coach or whatever, and like Archie and Betty and Veronica are like on to him, but they don't know what they're on to. They're just like, oh, something's weird with that guy. We're gonna check him out, and then like Spidey's gonna come in last second to like save the day, you know. And then he's gonna be fighting the Lizard, and just when you think the Lizard's got him, boom, Sonic the Hedgehog. But that's such Deus Ex Machina. They're into some, yes, the chili dogs tie it together. You need something to like give Sonic a reason. Sonic is waiting in the wings, like, give me a fucking reason. I'm the fastest goddamn hedgehog you've ever seen. But I need a reason to get out of bed in the morning. That's Sonic up and down. I do not know what's going on with this hand. Yeah, see? We've already... Okay. None of us are writers, and we all became writers just now. And that's the thing. That's why it's so difficult to be like... So I got an idea for a comic book, and I want you to make it happen. And it's like, well, how about I've got an idea for a comic book, and you learn how to draw it for me? Instead, we could do that. This hand is weird, because we're gonna... I mean, is that the other side of the... This is like the other freaking hand over here? I don't know. This is gonna take a lot of work. We need to not look at this thing for a second. So, I think this is a good start. We're going to do a little trick. Oh, those are claws. Spider-Man 2099 has, in order to climb onto buildings, he has like little spikes that come off at the end of his fingernail, or the out of his like fingerprint. So we're going to do a little trick to get this to look right. Like some of these blue values, like this stuff down here, like if you click it in the thing, it's like way too desaturated. It's Spider-Man 2099. We gotta like up the saturation. So, excuse me. We could just like up the saturation, just like crank it up. But that's starting to look a little weird with like the darker color, because I really like the darker color, and we just like lost it. So, let's try to color balance it a little bit instead. With like cyan and yeah. See, like, I feel like that looks a little better. Maybe it's the same and I've been living a lie. I don't know. But I feel like that's a little bit better. What if we... Yeah, that's looking like something. We're just gonna... Oh, God. We're getting there. We're getting there. No one said this was going to be easy. Alright. Alright, Spider-Man. Enough fooling around. Now I'm going to make some, like, actual selections. There's, like, all these kind of, like, weird shapes that are going on with the rendering. Like, they keep feathering these edges, and I think it's because they don't want those edges to, like, they want it to, like, fade slowly. And so, like, this kind of stuff should be darker than this kind of stuff, which it is not right now. So we're going to take a light blue and just pull it through with a screen and, like, really lighten it up. So it's starting to be, like, almost white, which is, like, perfect. And we're going to kind of try to figure out what is going on with these shapes. Like, we can kind of do one of these. This is like a little fold in the fabric, even though it's tights. But yeah, so we're gonna end up like basically at white down here. So and this is something that is important because like where we got like pretty close to white in here for a lot of this. It's only been like little dabs of white, you know, and we got like pretty close to white in here. Like this is white, this is white, these are like little dabs, but like this is a giant chunk of white, and so this is gonna really pop. It's gonna be like the first thing you see, and hopefully it won't be the crotch, but we're gonna add a little bit of white onto like his head and stuff, so maybe it'll be up there rather than the crotch. Good God. And I think it will be the head because when we go up there to kind of fix it, it'll also be next to the highest concentration of like the black ink that is down. The eye is always going to go where the highest concentration of like the biggest difference of light and dark next to each other. It's a good way to like direct the eye. I actually just did a cover for American Way, which is actually going to be in It Is the Time. Look, you're going to have another shot. If you're hanging out in the stream, you're going to have another shot for shiny crotch jokes. It's an inevitability in this industry. But what was I saying? Oh, yeah. So the newest American Way cover that I did had like, it was a character fighting off like a mob of people, like 20 people that were like dogpiling on him basically. And in order to make it feel like claustrophobic and endless and also make him pop, and the artist did this too, George's, he added, made the main character with spot blacks and everybody else without spot blacks, so that he felt different, singled out. And then I went in and amped it up by taking a color that's like similar to what the colors were for everybody around him, and kind of like dragging a gradient in. And I'd show it to you guys, but I don't know if I can show it to anyone yet. Like, but what that did is like I dragged it over the whole thing, and it made the black lines when you get further out from the main character more dull and more similar to the color around it. And by doing that, I focused all the attention in on the black lines that were like around the main character, that were his spot blacks, which is like the goal of the cover. Your eye should be like on him. And it's, you know, it's just playing to like, you know, what's the brightest thing in the room? What's the brightest thing in the room next to the darkest thing in the room? That's where I want you to be. And that's where you will be. All right. The legs are starting to come together. The crotch is starting to come together in a meaningful way. That cover, by the way, was my favorite cover of American Way. It is the final cover, I think. I think we did. Yeah, that's number 6. American Way number 3 comes out soon. Comes out this new comic book day on Wednesday. It's not in the thing below me because I haven't updated it in a while. Hurricanes, everything, life, you know. But it will get, all that stuff will get updated in a minute. If you didn't get, speaking of that stuff, because I saw the Realm flashed on screen, the Realm went into a second printing, like immediately. There was like overwhelming demand for it, and it's wild, and it's very humbling. And we did a color remaster for it, which is awesome because I got to do, that was like the first thing I did for the Realm, and then I got to do 80 pages, and then I got to redo it. So it's really interesting to see like where my head was at when I started and where my head was at when I'm 80 pages in. I think it's interesting. I don't know if you guys think it's interesting, but you know, like seeing the difference is kind of cool. So his like knee is like knobby as hell up here. And if you didn't get the Realm because it sold out, second printing's on the way. You can always get it from Comixology. Digital is always king, as far as I'm concerned. Because you can get anything you want at any time you want. But if you're a collector, you know, you want that first print, I understand. We also did like a ton of variants for that. We did a couple store variants, a couple for specific comic stores that you can hunt down. And then we also did some Comic-Con variants, and then just like a regular variant. Tony Moore did the regular variant of Walking Dead fame. He's a friend of Jeremy's. And by the way, Jeremy has been crushing it as far as promotion for this thing. Like, I kind of got, admittedly, a little more distracted than I would have liked, just from Hurricane and, like, my deadlines running into each other for DC, and it was like nothing I could really help. And unfortunately, the Realm is 1/5 of my workload, so I didn't have as much time to promote it. But like, holy shit, just retweeting what Jeremy's doing like exhausted me. Like, dude is just all over the place, and he's doing a tour. So, and I know he's about to be in New York City Comic Con. So if you're at New York City Comic Con, or he is coming to a town near you, go to the shop, check him out, check out the book. He's going to be doing like sketches at these comic shops and sketches at New York City Comic Con, and he does a fantastic job. Just chill out, watch him sketch. I can't advocate for it enough. I'm actually going to be working on the Realm 4 soon. And I was thinking about we're doing the thing again, because I'm talking. Where like I'm like, oh, we'll just go in and gesture this in, but I wanted to like actually like get in there. I want to play some since the Realm is heavily inspired by D&D. Forget Me Not, yeah. I wanted to play some the AD&D Brawler, the Shadows over Mysteria. Boyks and I played that once on his stream. Super fun game, and I wanted to play some with Jeremy and like shoot the shit about the Realm, just to like have like a fun stream. I want to get him in here too, because I'm gonna be coloring the Realm 4. You like the Realm issue 1? Thanks, man. Yeah, I'm gonna be coloring the Realm 4. And I want to get him in here and shoot the shit with him. Same thing with Oming. Like, I want to get him in here too. I'm gonna try to be regular with the stream again, and like have some guests, because the arcade one. Yeah, it's so good. Like, fucking Boyks in the chat. Hey, how's it going, L. Scott Campbell? Boyks in the chat, we played, God, like forever ago, and we were both like, this is really interesting, I'm really excited about it, and then we just never played it again. Yeah, I don't know, we should play it. Everyone should play it. But yeah, I do want to get Jeremy in here. I don't know if Jeremy's actually played it. I know he like plays some video games here and there, but most of his, where he's pulling from as far as like D&D is like, he liked the 80s show. It's fun, Kate. It's a brawler. It's made by Capcom. It's real good. I actually, right behind the camera, I have an arcade cab that has it in the cab, but you can't. Oh, really? 4-player online emulation? That sounds dope. We were playing a version though that was like you could get it on Steam, and it had you could set up like games and stuff with people. Like, I don't know that you need the 4-player emulation for that, but that's cool. We should play some arcade games. What I need is to get that new computer, so I can start playing on PC rather than playing on my Mac. But it'll happen when it happens. So yeah, we're gonna try to get some guest people, because I know a lot of people that I would like to shoot the shit with and pick their brain. I'm gonna try to get Chris Sabella on here as well, the writer for Heartthrob, because there's, and maybe even Robert on the same one, maybe. But Robertson's at Thought Bubble right now, or just was. Yeah, Violet Storm was great. He was just at Thought Bubble, and so while I was working on Heartthrob issue 4, so I didn't really get a chance to. I was gonna be like, oh, he should come on, but then I was like, well, hey, we got to finish this. We really got to finish this. Part of the reason why I'm doing this is because, oh my god, we got to finish this so I can do other stuff. I think I'm trying to like learn as to like what is good to stream and what is not good to stream still. And while this is super fun and I'm glad that we did it, it was like seriously like 6 sessions of work. And I don't know how long this one's gonna go for. Like, we're at an hour right now and we're not done with Spider-Man. So, you know, here we are. That's also because I talk a lot. I don't know. If you guys have any questions, by the way, you can always ask questions. Don't feel like you can't. I know there's a couple new viewers here. Probably some people who, yeah, 60 sessions. Yeah, we're gonna color a whole comic book on stream. That would actually be dope. I would love to do that. But like, if anyone, you know, did not want to watch that, it's like, strap in, buddy. Like, we're gonna be doing this. We're gonna be doing this one for like 3 months. It's gonna be a long fiscal quarter for you and I. I don't know why it's a fiscal quarter, but it is. It is for me and that person. They're looking at charts. I'm looking at charts, and I'm like, it's a long fiscal quarter, my man. But maybe we can chip away at it. You know what would be kind of neat, actually? Maybe we could do like a panel a day. Like, I could find some old work of mine and recolor it, maybe. I don't know. But like, I don't even know if I could keep like a train of thought for like a panel a day. Like, we just do a panel before we start streaming, you know, kind of thing. Or like to warm up. Not that I haven't been coloring all goddamn day anyway. But yeah, that would be kind of neat. I don't know, maybe. Keeping the train of thought would be key. It would have to be something that is not necessarily very cerebral and like with high goals. Like, I feel like Cave Carson tried a lot of different ideas, and I thought, yeah, I was not hiding from the sun all day. What I was doing was, my dog went in for his cardiology appointment, so I drove my fiance to work, and then I worked for a page and a half. That was the last 2 pages to get a book out the door. Didn't get the two pages done in time. Drove my dog to cardiology, then drove back home, had lunch, drove back to cardiology, picked up the dog, drove back, and then picked up the fiance from work, and then drove back here, and then finally finished like the last 45 minutes of that page. I posted him on Twitter or on Instagram due to the urging of my fiance, because she was like, people want to know how De Niro's doing. Just like Kate said, how's De Niro doing? He is 13 years old. He's a little gray in the face. Is he sleeping behind me? He's sleeping behind me. He's 13 years old, starting to get gray in the face, starting to slow down a little bit. He's got a little bit of a heart condition, and he is on Sotalol. And he wore a heart monitor for 24 hours so that they can take a look at what his heart was doing to make sure the Sotalol is working. And if it's not working anymore, we're going to figure that out. And if it is still working, he's going to stay on it. But we got good news. He had an echocardiogram, and the things that are wrong with his heart have not gotten worse, so they don't need to be medicated. So that was good. That was good. De Niro's a good boy, and he had a good appointment. Man, that is real blue. Maybe we don't want that. Maybe we want this. Yeah, so it went well. It was just like a lot of driving. Like, and I had to, drive to get the heart monitor on him the previous day. So it was like 2 days back to back. It was a lot of stress while I was like trying to get this book done and out the door on time. So it was just a lot, which is why I was not streaming at 3 o'clock like I normally do. I was not hiding from the sun. No. I was baking in the sun in the car. But it's alright. Family is good. And that dog is doing well. So it's all worth it. Yeah, but he is passed out. There's not a peep out of him. He's a very nervous little guy, and he was very, very nervous and just pacing circles nonstop while like waiting in line, circles, waiting in the room, circles, just nonstop. So I think he kind of wore himself out. Poor little guy. Let's figure out what's going on over here. I want to kind of accentuate the spikes a little bit, so we're going to add some highlights into them. Maybe even like, I don't know, just pure white highlights. See how that looks in a second. That's too much. That's weird mark making. Yeah, he's not a poor pup though. That's the thing, is like, he's just old. Like, and he's on the right medication, and he's getting the right treatment, so he'll be fine. And he's like, I've had him since he was like 6 months old. He's 13 now. We've led a long, happy life together, and now he's a senior citizen. Alright, so the hand is starting to look good. I like the white highlights. Let's put another one down in the thumb. Yeah. Alright, so that hand is kind of taken care of. It's a little bit dramatic in the palm. Like, the folds should not be that intense in a hand. So let's try to mitigate that a little bit. Just lighten up the whole thing. This is like really dramatic hand. But I guess it is also Spider-Man, so and we gotta do the one over here. Actually, like, this looks super lit and that one's kind of in darkness. That kind of looks cool. I don't know, maybe we don't do that one. Maybe we let that one sit there like that. We'll just put like a little, like, just little doodads. Little doodads. Yeah, little doodads. Kind of like that. He is a good boy. He's been so he's a very nervous little guy, and in his old age now, he's kind of starting to realize that he's led a very cushy life after he also lost a leg. He lost a leg at like 2 months old, and I got him at 6 months old. So he was kind of afraid of everything, like you would be when you're going through something like that. And so he was like listening to me always, you know, like because of that experience, he was like so scared of everything that he was like, where do I have to be? Where are you going? I'm going to be next to you. I'm going to listen to you. It's like so intuitive, so like, you know, focused on me. And then as he's getting older now, he's like more confident, and he's kind of more ornery, and he just wants to do what he wants to do. It's funny. I don't know. Maybe it's not funny. I don't want to talk about the dog for like an hour on the stream, because I know sometimes when other people talk about dogs, I'm just like, oh my god. Like, I like dogs, but can we just talk about something else? So, I don't know. We're going to get into the red in like a minute. We're going to do the face here. I'm kind of trying to figure out exactly what we're going to do with the face. Yeah, I mean, maybe. You'd be surprised. He does have the energy to care, but he's like slower to get up and yell about it. That's all. It's the same amount of energy and enthusiasm, just slower. I don't know. All right. Let's get like some pure white in the jawline. I don't know. I can't tell if this looks good yet. I don't know if the pure white is gonna do it. The thing is like this shape is kind of bizarre. It's like, it's weird because like they're lighting him from underneath, but like it's like kind of underneath behind him. So like, cause like this isn't lit right here, you know, in his like chin. Like, hold on, I'm just gonna fuck the rules. Like, that looks a little better, right? That looks better. Am I crazy? I think that looks better. The like with the chin. I'm just gonna I'm gonna call the audible. We're just gonna put a chin on him. Yeah, it kind of had like a weird well, I mean, like, I don't know. Spider-Man 2099 has like a weird aesthetic to it anyway. So they could have been going for that. Like, he's all fangy and weird, and you don't know, he's not your regular Spider-Man. That was like probably the art direction. So that could have been a thing. I don't know. But let's smooth out the face just a little bit. Alright, let's do the red. Do the red, then we're doing the webbing in the back, which I'm actually kind of stoked on, because I don't know what we're going to do for that, and I'm excited by that. We're going to do the red, and then we are going to do the special effects for the lighting. And then I think we're going to be done. Isn't that that's weird? Whew. Everybody else just get a little tingly? I think I did. It's from the crotch polishing or finishing. I can't tell. Yeah, right? Done? You mean we're going to work on other things? I actually, so, I want to do another colorist jam soon. Have I considered plaid? I have always considered plaid, now and forever. I want to do another colorist jam, speaking of plaid. And we did, back in the day, like, not in like 1994, we did like back in the day as in like, what, a couple of months ago? We did a Thanos jam. And actually, kind of a colorist jam, like started to get off the ground, but like didn't really get off the ground. July we did. Oh right, because it had fireworks. A lot of people did fireworks. So we're by the way, we're approaching the red the same way that we approached the other way. The blue on Spider-Man, we're just kind of gesturing in. No wrong answers. I'm going to try to roll with a lot of the... So, like, if you notice, all the red has no black in it at all. It's just red. It's just empty. So, here's the thing. Like, if I go in and I'm like, oh, highlight, 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 you know, like all over the place, it's got to kind of match what's going on with the blue. So, like, I can't really go like this because it looks weird because this is now a highlight on this shadow. And that, it'll look weird. So instead, we want to, like, kind of roll with what is down here already. I can't remember what the original looks like, and maybe that's fine. But we're going to try to just kind of DIY. I don't know if the original colorist was thinking about this or not. Maybe he was. He or she. But we can take... You see, I'm pulling this darker red, because we put that grad through the whole thing. I'm taking this darker red now, and I'm like, oh, we can use this as, like, more of a core shadow kind of thing here. And, like, really amplify what the artist is putting down, which is always good. And maybe we're getting too specific already, but that's fine. Like, I think the red's going to be a lot easier than the blue. And then we're going to put the green backlight on them too. So, yeah, we're strap in. We're doing it. So yeah, I want to do another colors jam, but like another one kind of got off the ground, or started, but like didn't really get off the ground. They didn't really use the hashtag, and only a couple of colorists participated, which is okay. You know, like everybody's busy, as it turns out. I also so we're gonna do that colorist jam, so that people don't have to redo work that they've already done. And maybe we're going to get another colorist on stream with us, like we had with Marissa, who also went to Thought Bubble. Everybody went to Thought Bubble. Thought Bubble is in Leeds, I believe. And I did not get to go. It's in England. I want to go to England. Send me to England. Who's in charge of this? Who's in charge of my own destiny? I want to speak to him or her. Let's do... Actually, we're going to be putting a bunch of green up here, so like that's fine. We can leave the red like turning into gray. You saw one post? Yeah, there was I mean, I think people were just like not using the hashtag, which is fine. It's, you know, like I understand if you don't get told to use the hashtag, then it's not on your mind, whatever, you know. But like, fucking Megan Hetrick, De Niro is in charge. De Niro's in charge of the destiny. Yes, in a lot of ways, you're right. Megan Hetrick did one. She's not a colorist per se. She's on Twitch, and I've hosted her on this channel before. She is great. She is fantastic. She's a painter, like traditional painter, in addition to some digital painting as well. And she also, we worked on Red Thorn together. And she was not able to, like, you know, paint her own work, like, while she was doing it, just because of the crunch of comics, like, coming out on a monthly basis. So, I joined the book late. I joined on issue 7, I believe. I was working on something else for Vertigo at the time, and that got canceled, unfortunately. It was slash and burn with Max Dunbar on the art, and Simon something on writing. He's probably watching this right now. He is cursing my name. He's also in England. Maybe I can't go to England now. Maybe. Anyway, you should look up the book. It's very cool. But yeah, Red Thorn. So she did one of the colorist jams, and it was like so good that I think that maybe other colorists were like, well, she did one, and she's a painter, and well, I don't think that counts. We're gonna go on a limb, say no to Megan Hetrick. No to her intimidation. I'm just kidding. Like I'm sure, you know, if we pushed the hashtag a little more and got it more organized, like we could get it off the ground. It was of Danny Moonbeam, the depowered X-Men mutant who turned into a Valkyrie eventually. This is while I think the art is while she is a mutant, though, not a Valkyrie. She is a rad person of color in the Marvel Universe, I believe, too. I don't know much about her. I think she's Native American. Yeah, the hashtag is important just so that people know what to look for, you know? Like, you're never going to find it. Like, the whole point of the jam is so that, like, if you're looking for a colorist, you can just be like, oh, hashtag colorist jam, let me see what's what, you know? Like, let me see what's good. And also, the point of the jam is to be like, you know, show people that coloring is an art form, and there are many different interpretations, and, you know, like, that kind of thing. So, we're going to see if we can revive it a little bit. I'm also, like, late to the jam, so, I mean, it's a little bit silly of me to be like, I don't know. All right, I got time now. Now I'm going to get this thing off the ground. You fucks fucked it up. That's not what we're trying to do. We're just going to try to be respectful and add to what everybody else is doing and try to crush it, you know? We are also I have some other plans going on for some now that Young Animal stuff is on a little bit of a break in the schedule. I was thinking about trying to get do like a colorist swap, like a little remix. I know Kelly Fitzpatrick is on board for that. She colors Shade the Changing Girl, so I was going to do a Shade page on stream, and then she was going to do a Cave Carson page. We're going to post them up, try to, you know, cross promote. If you're not picking up Shade, you should be. It's real good. So yeah, but before I can do any of that fun stuff, this shit's gotta get done. So let's get it done. So yeah, we're gonna have some guests coming up. They don't know it yet. Maybe I should ask them before I tell you. But you know, whatever. We're flying by the seat of our pants. It's the internet. So now this is like the harsh red. Yeah. Let's go. Let's get involved. We're gonna actually turn off the little selection so that we're still in the selection, but by hitting Apple H, or I don't know what it is on PC. This is just Freedom is My Home. This is just the regular round brush. This is like the stock brush for Photoshop. I'm not doing anything fucking that wild or using any custom brushes for this guy. This is the thing with superhero stuff, like, you want it pretty shiny anyway, and so like putting a ton of texture down takes away. I mean, I'm messing. If you watch like up here, I don't know if you can see this up here, but like I have a handful of buttons here on the side of my Cintiq. You can't really see them, but I have buttons set to 100%, 30%, and 50%. So I'm constantly like my thumb is on the corner here, and I'm constantly swapping between 30, 50, and 100. So it's just kind of like figuring out the workspace of what you want to do. Like right now it's 100, but like I can just be like, oh, let me select this red 50%. Now we're just gonna add a little bounce light in there, and it's like, oh, that didn't work. Okay, back to 100%. Grab that. Okay, pop it in. You know, it's like, and I'm gonna actually, because we were talking about on All About Comics on the 2-hour interview that we did, which was like the marathon interview, which was totally awesome. If you haven't seen it, you should Google on YouTube All About Comics, and we talked for a while. It's a lot of good information about breaking in and that kind of thing. But I talked about how I was flatting the Superman piece we did on stream, and I was flatting it really fast. And because I don't enjoy flatting and I don't want to do it slowly, I want to do it fast. I want to get to the good stuff. I flatted the whole thing in like 29 minutes, and people were like, how in the hell did that happen? So we're going to actually, sometime soon on stream, we're going to do basically a how to flat. We're going to slow everything down. I'm not going to use hotkeys. I'm going to tell you about the hotkeys, but I'm going to use just the regular selections so that you can see what's going on as I'm doing it, so that it's not like breakneck fast. Give you all the tips and all the tricks that you need to like really get into it. Hey, thank you for following. Thank you for following, Freedom. Yeah, so we're gonna get into that, and I'm gonna show you how to do everything that I know how to do, because magic, got it. I mean, we're gonna pick something very, very easy to flat. I have since we did Community Day with Kyler, somebody else suggested a piece, a Chun-Li piece that I think his name is Will Jones did that. Yeah, well, hopefully you won't have to do that. See, the thing that hides the method are like the hotkeys and the actions I have set up that are like several steps that just like run in a second. That's the kind of stuff that's like gonna keep you from learning what I'm doing, and I don't want that. Like, you know, like we're gonna slow it down. You're gonna see everything. You know, you're gonna be like, oh, I don't want to see that, but it's gonna be too late. You've already seen everything. So flat, for anybody who doesn't know, like Freedom in the chat, when I'm saying flat, what I mean is that, like, okay, so when we started today, this whole piece, I had to put the Cintiq back up. So this whole piece was pretty much colored, except for Spider-Man. Spider-Man wasn't colored yet. He had color on him, but he was not colored. Yeah. I mean, it is that, but it's also like, so we're going to save it just in case I fuck this up first. We're going to go back to what it looked like when we opened the thing. So Spider-Man right now is considered flatted. He is, all of his shapes are one selection. The red is one consistent selection. Even though like this red isn't connected over here, I can still like grab it. Done deal. And since I clicked that, now that means that we gotta load the save because I fucked it up. So thank God we saved. So yeah, you select the blue and you select everything in there, even the stuff that's in here or whatever. And it's made so that you can kind of like attack the piece very, very quickly. Now we're gonna do this while I open up the page again. Hold on one second, because I don't want you guys necessarily to see what I'm working on. There's some secret stuff in there, so just give me a moment, bear with me, and we're back. So yeah, I mean, it's less about NDA and it's more about like no, you didn't sink the boat at all. No, we're back, man. It's fine. It's fine. So yeah, when you flat, it's like it's doing a lot of like the hard work, the heavy lifting, but it doesn't even necessarily have to be like I don't even know how to. Kate in the chat, I don't know how to say your actual screen name. I just call you Kate. I don't know. It's like she was saying in the chat, like, it's kind of prepped, local color, whatever, but it's actually like flats don't have to be like local color kind of thing. GT, yeah. They can just be like whatever color. It doesn't matter, because like the color artist is going to go in and like do their thing anyway. So like it doesn't actually have to be anything. It can just be whatever. Like Spider-Man could be pink and orange and it's fine, because the color artist is just going to go in and change it. And a lot of different colorists have like a lot of different preferences for like how they like the flats too. Some color artists like to work dark to light, some work light to dark, some do a combination depending on the scene, like, so yeah, it really depends on what you got going on, and nothing's set in stone with the flats. The flats are all about just kind of like making sure the selections are broken up, making sure that like I can easily grab, especially on a page that's sequential. Like this is a giant double page spread, so there's no sequence happening. But if it's like the next page is Spider-Man like jumping around the city in every single panel, it doesn't matter if he's pink and orange, but he has to be the same pink and orange through the whole thing, so that in one click I can like be like, okay, that pink needs to be blue, that orange needs to be red, and we're done. It's just basically like, how do I save time? And it enables me to do 4 to 5 pages a day rather than like 2. Yeah, kinda. Yeah, it's just kind of just like prepping the thing, like doing the heavy lifting of the selections so that the artist doesn't have to, kind of thing. And anyone can do them. Like when I started, I talked about this a little bit in previous episodes. When I started doing comics, I was flatting. When I started doing this, essentially, I was doing like this on the side and then going in and working for a studio and flatting, and I was getting like $20 per page, which is actually kind of unheard of now in the flatting world, because a South Korean company kind of came in. They were like, hey, we're going to work for 10. And now like the standard is like 15 for American artists, which is kind of balls. That sucks. I tend to, if I have a project that needs to get turned around very, very quickly, I will tip the shit out of the flatter in addition to whatever the rate is, because man, that work is hard. So we got Spider-Man like mostly done. We're gonna do the little like green around him. This leg's looking a little jacked, actually. Why don't we get in there? There's no cohesion there. But yeah, the problem is, the reason that I don't hire American, or there's a lot of British colorists lately. Maybe not, I don't know what they want to be called. English, British, I don't even know. That group of islands. Whatever. I don't know what the term is. Maybe I should have one of them on to like help me out in this situation. But I apologize. Yeah, so they European, just all of Europe. We're just gonna yeah, I don't know. You guys are I appreciate you guys trying to help me out, but UK, yeah, okay. But like some are from Ireland and stuff, so I don't know. Is that United Kingdom? United Kingdom. There we go. I got there. They're muffins. No, but what was I saying? Shit. So there's a lot of them that are like coming up right now that want to flat pages to like kind of make ends meet between gigs, because they're not getting necessarily consistent gigs, because they're just starting out. Like I was talking about it in the interview with Joe on All About Comics, that like I had 2 books and one of them didn't pay at all. So yeah, so I was doing flatting to like make ends meet. And the reason that I don't hire flatters now and I instead hire that Korean studio is not because I can't afford it, but because the output that I'm doing is so high, like that people, especially people who are starting out, just can't keep up. You know, like I need like 5 pages a day every day, and if they're not turning that around, I start to get impatient. Deadlines start to get hurt, you know. So that's the only reason why I haven't started to like really employ people. The only one that I know that does like a large amount of flats is D. I think he's Dzoid on Twitter. He's recently started to branch out into coloring though, so I don't even know how long he's going to be doing this. Like, he might just get picked up as a colorist. You never know. He's making it happen. He's a little older than me. He tried doing this a little bit later in life, and that's cool, man. I like it. Bring on the life experience. More power to him. So this leg, part of the reason why this leg was jacked up was because of this, the crotch. It was because like the white highlight was so hard on the crotch, just so damn hard, and we didn't have the same thing going on over here, and we needed the same thing going on over there. So let's do that thing. That's like not right. Alright, let's think about it for a second. Maybe just the highlight over there is what we want. We're at 100%. Yeah. It's looking better. I don't know if that's necessarily looking right, but it's looking better. Yeah, so I was thinking about we're going to be going over okay, have a good night, Freedom. So yeah, we're going to be doing like kind of a school day on stream. I'm gonna try to do that, and where I slow down, maybe like once every other week or so, slow down and show you exactly what's going on in the process. It's gonna be noob friendly, because I know that I've done that. I did that with John Roush's stuff before. He had a couple of videos when I was, God, like 10 years ago now. He's really great at rendering, and I was really struggling, and so I was trying to like essentially like see how he did it. He was doing this thing where he was doing like layer masks and stuff, and at the time it was like over my head, and I was like trying to do like frame by frame to fucking decode what was going on, and it was just mind boggling. So alright, the leg is done. We're done with that. Let's select Spider-Man, deselect this stuff. I don't know why it keeps picking up those chunks. And we're gonna put that rim light on him, the green. I hope this goes well. Guys, I hope you're really pushing for me. Because this is kind of the crux of the dealie. I mean, if it doesn't go well, we can just not. You know? In fact, we should probably save before we do this. I can't reach the keyboard. It's going to bump the mic. There we go. We got there. So yeah, let's... We could... Why don't we slow down, do it right, make a selection. And then try to just get in there with this. So we're gonna take this normal. Hey. Internet hiccup. On my end or your end? I guess if you're back, it would be on your end. Alright. Here's the problem. The rim light on here is close to the building, which means it's like kind of falling apart. So maybe it needs to be, yeah, like kind of lighter, or picking up more blue. Maybe Spidey doesn't have like quite as intense of a rim light because he's moved forward beyond where the light is. Maybe we'll tell ourselves that. And we'll do it like harsher on his shoulders, maybe. That's probably a good idea. Cause that's gonna have to pop a lot. So yeah, I think that looks fine. Man, this is interesting. How did I not notice this before? In the flats, they did this like, so it should be like that. This is like very, very small. Like this little shape here is like highlighted, because this went in a little bit, like that kind of thing. But that looks like he's like cut in half now, kind of. But it's like an interesting shape, and it puts the torso forward. Whoa, this was in the inks. Like this is Al Williamson thinking about shapes, and probably the colorist fucking it up. Is that colorist me? Maybe. Let's play with it though. play with what he's doing. It's almost like the inker knew about space and form. Oh, that's cool. I like that. And we can actually take that white and, like, even though it's outside the body, that's fine, but we can kind of like, because it's also in the actual drawing as well for the background, so we're kind of like, yeah, boy. Ooh, ooh, whew. Yeah, he's not getting cinched. It's just the light around him. I mean, we could do the same thing up here, where we kind of just like, now we're like really into it. Now we're really rolling with what was on the page. Like, I think that looks fucking dope, but maybe not on the actual fucking drawing. We can do it on here's a cheat that I do with stuff like this, where I don't know what way it's gonna go, if we're gonna keep it or not. I'll put it on another layer just so that if we end up pulling it, or it like doesn't end up working at the end, like the line art is still intact. And we can always go back. I'm really zoomed out as well, which I don't think is working in my favor. I mean, we already did it on his chin too, so, you know. Whoo, baby! Yeah, I do that too. I mean, dude, Spider-Man is bent in an odd way. I don't know if I should take it all the way down there. I probably shouldn't. We can actually go back, but I think that was like an interesting, a really interesting choice that Al Williamson made in the inks that I kind of want to play with. And that's also like something that I would have never noticed as a comic book reader, which is why I think that what I do like surprises me sometimes, like doing coloring, because you really go over like every single square inch of the thing, you know, for better or worse. So let's get into the shoulders up here. We on the right layer now? Correct. Yes. We will grab Spider-Man so that we're not all over the place. We will switch that down to 5. Deselect. Alright. I feel like I'm doing this over and over on this stream, which is not a productive workflow, but whatever. We're getting close to the end. And it's what? We're at 1:49. So if I was doing hour sessions, it would have been 2 more sessions. Jeez. That is long. It is a long time. But you know what? Maybe doing some long sessions is kind of neat sometimes. Not all the time, but you know. Look, if you go back in YouTube and you check the playlist, It looks like I just like sat down for 7 hours and was just like, let's waste a day doing this. I look like a goddamn focused genius. What's up, Rico? Rico, by the way, hooked me up with some awesome shirts just recently. You guys should all go to nolongermint.com.org. I don't know. Google No Longer Mint Rico. Not that Rico should Google it, but Google it with his name in it. And you should check out his shirts. He's got good shit. That guy, he's smart and funny. There you go. Am I wearing one? No, I'm not wearing one right now. Yeah, no problem, man. You know I'm a fan. So, I don't know if we're going to go beyond that. It's kind of, I don't know. It's looking like a little bit out of place. Maybe we'll just lighten up all of the green to like almost white. Maybe. Yeah, I'm not wearing a shirt. I gotta get another shirt. Shit. If there's ever an award show I'm at, they're gonna be like, "What are you wearing?" I'm gonna be like, "Rico, Body by Rico." Let's go like almost white. Maybe that works a little better. Maybe. It's just kind of, I don't know, work it till it works. That's like, I don't, fuck, man, fuck. I don't know if that actually works. Maybe it's just like his head. His head is so strange. That this up here I can't fucking figure out. Like, do we just do this? Like, maybe we just do that. That actually doesn't look incredibly out of place. This was never my intention. Please, oh God, no. Oh, yeah. Shit, does that look good? No, it still looks out of place. We're still wrong. I think the optimum thing is to do nothing. I think guys, I'm a professional. It's fine. Everything is a struggle. It's fine. Oh God. Oh God. Let's move on to another section. Yeah. So we're gonna do that to the spikes back here. We've moved on to another section. All wrongs are forgiven. I think the best thing to do is to do nothing. Yeah, I think that's looking good. Let's get into the webbing. I don't really know exactly what I'm going to do with the webbing. It's gonna be web-like, but I kind of wanted to try and make it a little transparent, a little textury maybe. So we're gonna use a brush that I always use. We're not treading new ground for this stream. Conte 2, Dry Media Conte 2 from the Kyle Webster brushes. You can get his brushes if you just Google Kyle Webster brushes. It's got a little chunk to it. We're just going to kind of put whatever the color is behind it into the web. Very much like when we were working in Spider-Man. We're being very loose. Very loose. This does not have to be perfect. And it's probably not going to stay this way. Like, we're probably going to put a grad through the whole thing once we're done with it. Rico, by the way, also streams. So if you dig what you're watching and you see that name in chat, you should probably click follow. Yeah. So like we're kind of making it transparent. Yeah, he also works on Squirrel Girl, which I know you're a fan of, Boix. I think you're a fan of. Maybe I just called you out and you're not a fan. You're like, oh no. No, Nick. I'm making the chat real awkward. Yeah, there you go. Rico likes play. I don't know if that's true. I can't speak for him. We gotta have a I'm sure Rico will, if he has time, do a I don't know, he might have already done a did you do one of the colorist jam that was floating around that not a ton of people did? You did a Danny Moonbeam, right? I think you did. I think I remember it. We're gonna do one next. Maybe next stream. Either that or we're gonna do the flatting stream. So I was actually skeptical of this when I started doing the webbing here, but now it's coming out pretty alright. A lot of art I feel like is... You did! Yeah. A lot of art I feel like is powering through the bad until it's good. Just, I don't know, closing your eyes and running through as fast as you can. At least that's my technique. I also want to do an Al Williamson piece because apparently I have to atone for having no idea who he is when we started doing this. Enrico calling me out on it. Alright, so we kind of like added color, we kind of made it a little transparent, but we're also going to knock out the line art. However, I kind of want to just blue it up as well. Like, maybe it's not as transparent as that. That's starting to look like where I want, but maybe not that blue. Like, it's picking up like a little bit of the background kind of thing. What I'm trying to think about right now too is, you know, when we knock out the lines, when we colorize the lines for the webbing, are we going to color them darker or lighter than the webbing, the color that's down there right now? If we color them lighter, then we can go darker with the wash that we're putting in. So like, 50% dark, if we do light webbing, is going to look great, but it would look terrible if it was dark webbing. I can't remember what the original looked like. I think maybe the original was just black. Like they didn't even do it. I don't know if they just didn't have the tech, or they were instructed not to do it, or what, but like if we do it like that, and then maybe amp up the blue, and then do dark webbing, that could be a thing. I don't know if I like that. We could also put a grad through it. Original did something weird. It was like purple and white. Yeah, I don't know. We gotta, man, I should have the original on like standby. But see, if we go too dark, it's gonna like clash with the blue of the suit. So maybe we don't want to go too dark. Maybe this was all a mess and I should have just kept them light. Just, I'm overthinking it. I think that might be what's happening. I think it's looking good over here and looking bad over here because this is such like, the background is so dark behind him. So maybe if I take just like whatever, like that kind of color, let's blue it up a little bit and then do some light. See, now it's making it dark. See, highlights. Oh, there we go. Maybe make it. All right. Settle. Color balance. Settle. Like I want to make it a little greener. I guess. Maybe. Nah. It's fine the way it is. Like. We put a little bit of tooth in there, but it's very, very subtle. Maybe even totally worth none of our time. I don't know. Whatever. You're not the boss of me. It's fine. We're just going to spend fucking 8 hours with the webbing. The webbing did not go the way we wanted it to go. And that's fine. We're just going to back up to kind of where we were at and make it look good. We're just going to go tried and true rather than trying something new. Which is fine. So right now I'm just making the selection. I don't have to worry about selecting out this like dark green color because we've already selected it out. But if you look over here, like we have black up here and black down here, so I have to make like a smarter, less sloppy selection like this. And since we are just kind of working on one layer, are you gonna move? There you go. I didn't move selection, did I? No. Since we're just working on one layer, normally I would back this stuff up and make sure that we can easily change it if that editorial needs to be changed, but there is no editorial and we're just flying by the seat of our pants. So let's get it done. I will read chat in a second, but I'm making a giant selection and I kind of need to focus so that I know what I'm doing. Apologies to chat. I'm sure you're running rampant right now. Alright. Rein it in. Nick, it's fine, Flarty. I actually, so, Kevin Mellon, who's another comic artist, and he does storyboards for Archer as well. He's been pushing for a Nick Filet, which the joke has been made to death because we're at twitch.tv/NickPhil. Hey, twitch.tv/NickPhil. Give it a follow. It's right there. Get involved. So we're at twitch.tv/NickPhil. And, NickPhil is very close to Nick Filet. And so he's been angling for me to make a parody shirt or parody Chick-fil-A hat or something. So I think we might spend our time on stream one day making a parody Nick Filet shirt that you can then buy in a shop. We'll see. Whoa, that's not what I wanted. Too close. Too close. Alright, we've selected the webbing. We've deselected the webbing. Shit. It's all off the rails. Alright. So I just made it white. I don't want to make it. We can make it dark. Actually, we were gonna make it dark, right? Yeah, we were gonna make it dark the whole time. Don't listen to me 5 seconds ago. We were gonna make it dark the whole time. But we could make it white and then make like the insides, this stuff in here. We could make that dark. I wonder how that's gonna look. Shit. Copy layer. That's not what I wanted. Photoshop, you've run amok. Alright. I think that's going to look good. So we're just going to take the... get in there, really taste the pixels. Yeah, you think that's a good... Yeah, I think it's going to look good. Treat it like the two separate things that it is. Alright. So we still have that selection selected, and we're just going to go in by hand and kind of like interpret what's going on here and figure it out. This is kind of the more tedious side of the job. Like, you're like, oh, I should do that, and then you're like, oh shit, now I have to do that. This is kind of the stuff that, like, if I had an assistant, they would do this. But that's okay. I have not become rich or powerful enough for an assistant. It's fine. We'll make our own comics. Rather than outsourcing them. I was just actually talking to someone about how colorists don't really get this is the vegetables. It's like, oh, I have this idea. Oh, now I have to fucking execute, because there's no there's no art happening right now. I apologize. I'll let you guys know when the art starts again. Well, I was joking around with Marissa the other day, and I was like, colorists don't really get invited to comic conventions. Like, I mean, we go, we attend them as professionals. I'm not saying that we don't do that. What I'm saying is that like, comics don't they don't usually like call us and be like, hey, Nick Filardi, we want to showcase you as a guest. We're gonna pay for your hotel, pay for your travel, kind of thing. Like, that doesn't really happen for colorists that much, unless it's like a very small con, and they know you're local or something like that. And that's the only time that like something like that has happened for me. I mean, I'm speaking from my own experience. I don't know. Maybe more popular or superstar colorists have this kind of stuff all the time. Who knows? I don't know. But speaking for myself, And I was saying to Marissa that I have to get rich and powerful so that I can get that stuff. But then I realized that and I was saying that we all need to become rich and powerful to get that stuff, and same with the assistant. Hey Cam, I know you're watching because the alert came up. Don't you lurk on me, you son of a bitch! Don't you lurk on me, not you. Yeah, so I was saying we got to become rich and powerful, but then I realized, like, the amount of effort to become rich and powerful is huge, and to save like $4,000 a year, maybe, and it's just like I could just pay the $4,000. It's not a big deal. Rich and powerful. It's so stupid. It's all art, I guess. We're I don't know. I'm just like stream of consciousness talking because this is like so mundane. Maggie, I saw your friend Ilion is now watching in the chat, which is why I was like, don't you lurk on me. The chat bot has outed him. He was asking, by the way, today on Twitter for suggestions for horror stuff. I think he's gonna do like a all October horror stream of some kind. And I gave him a couple. Sweet Home is a classic from the Famicom era, and there's an English patch for it, which is dope. Oh, are you also Cam? I didn't know that. Yeah, so Sweet Home, I suggested D and D2. D is actually a favorite horror game from my fiance. She had a PS1 and a Sega Genesis growing up, and so she really liked that game. That game's wild too. You can't make saves. Yeah, you can't make saves for D, so you have to play it all in one sitting, which is like a really neat idea. It's cool. I like that. And you play it in like real time, like it's timed. If you don't save the person in like, I think it's like 3 hours or something like that, then you lose. So I suggested those. I suggested Luigi's Mansion, because even though it's not a horror game, it's still like, ghosty and stuff. Yeah, man, that looks good. Maybe that blue's a little too intense, but let's pull that blue. Am I anywhere else in here? Let's find out. Let's just do a sweep. Ah, thanks, Rico. Yeah, I try to make him like, scary. A little bit scary. Because, he's got the eye sockets. I mean, in reality, like, I don't know if these would necessarily be the eyebrows. Like, we're probably like way up on the head. Like, the eyebrows are up here. But like, I don't know. It's cartooning. Like, we can roll with it. Yeah, so I faded him a little bit from here to here. I think that looks good. Alright, let's yeah, which I think was like the point of Spider-Man 2099, to be like Scully, He's got like a giant skull here. Like, why not? Yeah, we're like kind of accentuating it. I don't know. Okay, let's save. And let's do, so here's the thing with doing some grads and stuff. We're definitely gonna do them. We're gonna put some special effects in the back. We're gonna make the lights light up, essentially. And then we're going to be done. I think it's probably going to be like 20 minutes left, 15 minutes left. So strap in. We're almost there. So I'm going to select all of the black. Modify the selection. Contract it by 1 pixel. Do a new layer. I'm going to tell you why I'm doing this in a second. 80, 60, 40. So CMYK 80, 60, 40, 100. And fill it. And this makes all of the black very, very black. No hexies. Magi. You were here for this. I think you were here. Yeah, we're not doing hexies because as much as I wanted to do it, like the art just doesn't. Excuse me. The art just like doesn't really allow for it. It wasn't made with hexies in mind. I actually saw not this piece, not this artist, but somebody else was drawing. I was looking for like Spider-Man 2099 GIFs. Oh God, Magi, that's so much work. And somebody like knocked out all of the line art in the suit, and I kind of want to just like see it. I don't think it's gonna work because I think it needs the black, but let's see. If it looks really good, we're gonna have to do it. Maybe I shouldn't have said anything. Should have just kept my mouth shut. So they were doing like they were taking that and then like knocking it out like that. I don't know. Like, it looks okay. I think we keep the black. I think it's going to start to look weird in here. Like, the chest is going to start to look bizarre, and the face is going to start to look bizarre. It's not really built for it. I don't know what I was thinking. Anyway, the point is, I was explaining what we were talking about with the, so I just essentially took the line art, contracted it 1 pixel, and filled it with a black concoction here, 80, 60, 40, 100. Those are the percentages for CMYK. Those are the channels that you print. And the reason for that is, let me show you the reason for that. So we're going to do another layer. We're going to do a screen. And we are going to start to, light up some areas. That is the wrong thing. We are still selected. There we go. So we take a screen and it like glows a little bit. This is a terrible glow. This is not good, but you get what I mean. So it's glowing, and if you take the super black layer away of the CMYK 80, 60, 40, you get these like ghosted images, because like the black isn't solid. It's like on that layer, on the bottom layer, it's like the black is 100%, but then it's like got one color over here underneath it and another color over here underneath it. Here, we can zoom in even more. One color over here, one color over here, but then when you like make the black like unified, it's like, oh, now it like kind of makes sense. We aren't going to do that gradient though, because that gradient's terrible. Don't judge me based on that gradient. Excuse me. That color also is like a cool grayish. So cooler grads are going to look better than warmer grads, but we can fix that. We can tweak that too. So we're not locked into just like cooler grads. And it's going to look really good over stuff like this, where it's like the art has been, the line art has been colorized. So we're going to take an orange maybe, and yeah, so that's a little intense, but we can set it to 50% and kind of just like go in and like just pull some grads, and if the orange isn't really working, which it's like kind of working, we can also just like, because it's on a separate layer over here, just hue saturation and be like, all right, well, the orange isn't really working, but like, maybe like a reddish orange will, or like the other direction, Like maybe a bluish. Like that looks cool. Let's do that. I don't know. Fuck it. Whatever. You're not the boss of me. We already established that. So yeah, we're gonna stick with the color we're using for now, and then like tweak it dramatically, in dramatic fashion. And I did these little dots so we can flare those guys up. That one might be a little too flared, but and then like this is like all shiny, so like we can do big pulls for the grad, and we're gonna be doing that a lot down here because like this is all like lit. Like we're gonna do like really like pop it and lock it. Yes, we're doing it. Yeah, well, you're not the boss of me, so there we go. I am being a rebel. So I'm just kind of making the whole city shiny as fuck. And it's gonna work to a varying degree, and we're gonna clean it up too, because like we don't want I have a cause. The cause is getting this shit done. I am not a rebel without a cause. We are getting this done. That is the cause. So like the shine also should not be, it's like overlapping with Spider-Man. We don't want that. We want the shine to essentially be on the stuff in the back, and not the stuff in the foreground, because the stuff in the foreground needs to pop forward. So right now it's like a little all over this place. It's a little crazy. God, what have we done? But you can turn it off and see like, okay, this is what it looks like without all the effects, and this is where we're at with the effects. And it's a little bright down here. It's a little bit hazy, especially on Spider-Man's leg, but we are going to change that. We are going to select Spider-Man and erase. We're going to clear it so that Spider-Man like really pops forward. But like I said, that orange, that ain't the hotness. We gotta do something more creative with that. We're gonna go like redder, or maybe the other direction, like I said. We gotta like play with it. So like here's the thing too. It's like over here, like it looks really good, the blue, but it does not look good over here. So we can mess with that later, but I think it maybe like the redder stuff might be a little better, like red or purple. Like this looks good against the green, and plus you also want to think about this, like Spider-Man is blue and red, and he is like blue and red, all caps, and we want to do the background to make it different. So if we do a gradient that's blue behind there and it makes the backgrounds more blue, then like we're gonna start to flatten out the whole thing, which is not where we want to be. But this looks good. This is like we're in a good spot. We could even so like we could even like do another layer if we want, and kind of like do more complex things with like greens, which will like influence the whole thing. You gotta also keep in mind that like like the city is giving off light from underneath kind of thing. So like we want to do more grads down here and not as many grads up here. I'm going to be down with Stan Lee Spider-Man Presents, or Stan Lee Presents Spider-Man. Words. You're not the boss of me. So now that we've decided who's the boss of who, we can kind of get rolling with taking these two grads. So this is like literally what the grad looks like, which is like all over the place. Look at that. Look at that Smushville. Look at that. Terrible. Terrible. So now that we've established everyone's not the boss of me, we can get into Spider-Man here, and we're just gonna make the selection for Spider-Man that we've created in the very beginning, and go to the grad and then hit delete, and then suddenly none of the stuff is on Spider-Man, and he's popping forward, you know. And because the grads are warm, and the living is easy. So if you look over here, like this is an example of like, so the super black isn't really doing I mean, it's doing what it should be doing, but like the grad looks really good on this orange, like right around here, looks good on this green. It does not look good on our face. What's wrong with our face? So we just gotta, like, you know, select the blacks here. We're on this super black layer, and rather than doing what were we doing? 80-60-40, right? Yeah, 80-60-40. So instead of doing that, and so 80-60-40 is predominantly cyan, and it is you know, a bluish gray because of that. So we're gonna do, instead of that, we're gonna do 40, 80, 60. So now we're primarily magenta, and it's just like a mix of these. It's what it is. It's 280% color, and like paper has a certain threshold where it can only soak up so much, and if you go too dark, it doesn't look good, and you know, like blah 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 blah. It starts to like smear and all that. So this is a way to make it look black without making, you know, without it being like, oh, we'll just do 100, 100, 100, 100, you know, 100 all day. But no, we're not going to do that. We're going to go click back to normal. So now we've selected the black here, right? And actually, we can just select the whole black. Yeah. So we've got the black selected, and we're just going to put a... Oh my god, why did it do that? Because we were contiguous. Alright, now we've made the proper black selection. I apologize. So we're just going to take it and drag it through. So warm it up, warm it up, warm it up. And now it looks like a little bit better. And we can even warm it up even more. We could go like 20, 80, 80. And like, you can't really do 20, 80, 80 for like the whole piece, because then you're going to end up with, like, when it hits print, it's going to look, the blacks are going to look red. I experimented a little bit with this on powers, and the note I got, it was like, I was experimenting with different percentages for powers, and then I was smart and not following up. That's what you should do, is experiment and then not follow up. So I got a note from our editor, Jen, and she was like, you know that like all the blacks look red, right? Like everything's rusty. Why is that? And I was like, oh, because I was experimenting and not following up, and now we have like 5 issues of this. Victory sip. So yeah. So we just want to look for other places where maybe we can warm it up a little. Like I said, you don't want to do it everywhere. You just want to do it in select spaces where the gradient is screening down and making it look dull. Like maybe in here. Yeah, right in here is a good spot. So like we went from a dull gray here to like a rusty kind of dark red, which is good. Probably want to do it down here. Probably actually want to deselect that stuff too. We'll do it in here a little bit, although we don't really have to. Any place we don't have to, we don't necessarily want to, because, you know, whatever. I don't know, why is this like this? This physically hurts me. Why did it do that? It was not part of the selection. It was part of the selection that I've been deselecting from Spider-Man this whole time. Whatever. We'll fix it. There we go. This cuts me deep. We fixed it. We probably should have done that a long time ago, but here we are. And you know, I would do the lights on the bikes, but man, I don't know if the lights on the bikes really matter. They might just be distracting. Like, there's so much going on those bikes that I think you just want to like see the fucking bike. But let's do the glass. There's a lot of glass on the car. Here we can make a selection and then just like drag a gradient through the selection. That is going to make it look shiny. Like it's getting hit by light, and then the light is cascading across the glass, and then we're going to actually like knock out the line art on the glass. This is like some of the last stuff we're going to do. So well, yeah, I was thinking about that, but I feel like if we start to color directional beams and stuff, like, first of all, this is like straight at the camera right here. This guy is like, whoa, too far, too much. This guy is like straight at the camera, so like the directional beam for that is like right in our dome. And then like these guys, I don't even know if those are lights. Like, I don't know what the design is on these bikes. And even if we did, like, we're responsible for like these guys back here, all of these, and then all of these. And then I feel like the image is so busy that if we go deep on that, then it's going to be like, you know, crisscrossing beams all over the place. It's gonna be total madness. You know, apartments with cats and dogs living together. It's, you know, it's not. Yeah, it's stressing me out just thinking about it. I mean, we could talk about it, but we ain't doing it. So, all right, we're doing this guy's screen down. We're just gonna put like a color on the glass, so that's like an orange, but which like works with the car, but we could do, it works with the color underneath it, the red of the car, but like maybe we could do something more like the green. Yeah, that looks good. We could do it like that, and then we could actually do a secondary light. Yeah, I mean, I don't know. Dogs and cats living together is fine, except when you start giving them social security numbers and they start taking out credit cards, and then you've got potential fraud. But then the cat's better than you at managing finances, and so he thinks he knows everything, and you end up in that kind of a situation, and I mean, I think everybody's been there. So we could take that, so it's got like kind of a green across it, but then we can take like, oh, maybe it's like warmer underneath and cool, and like that cooler green, so we can take like a red and just kind of like pop it in here, and then so like that windshield's like fucking all over the place now. I don't know if that's necessarily good. Oh my life. Yeah, that's a little better. It's like a yellow rather than a green. So let's get this done. Let's get this done. So I want to do a light color for the outside of the glass, like a white. And then I don't know what we're gonna do for the inside of the glass. We might even just keep it normal, but we can see what it looks like. And we have to be on the layer for the black. There we go. So that looks terrible. That looks a little bit better. Let's deselect the outside of the glass. So these edges, You know, when you like get a panel of glass or like a piece of glass and you look through it like this, like look through it like that, you see it clear, but then when you look at it like this, it's like it looks like a solid thing because there's so much glass in your vision. That's what we're kind of doing. We're taking the glass and making it kind of like bright solid on the outside and clear in the middle, and then we can just kind of like take a dark color and put it down for this. Yeah, that looks fine. And we can even put a little shine on this glass, a little shine in the corner. I don't know. I'm not thrilled about that glass, but we're here at, what, 2 hours, 36 minutes? And this is total madness. So we're just getting, at this point, my dudes, we gotta get it done. Let's do this guy's glass. So tomorrow is New Comic Book Day. New American Way is out tomorrow. In October, October 11th, my issue of Deadpool, my run of Deadpool starts with Scott Koblish and Jerry Duggan, and that's gonna be dope. You should check that out. That is terrible. Don't look at that. I keep forgetting to go to the other layer. Man, the glass is being a real glass hole. I think that it needs like different coloring. I think we need straight up different coloring. Like the glass is being too dark. I wonder if we can do something like this and then color the inside like we did before, and then just like fix it with a big shine. We're gonna try to do that. So yeah, you should check out those comics that are coming out soon. Yeah, American Way 3 is coming out tomorrow, and Deadpool's coming out soon. But, you know, no matter what you pick up at the comic shop, you should pick something up. And I'm going to be streaming tomorrow. Yeah, 2 in a row. We here, boys. We shouting from the rooftops. We're going to be streaming tomorrow. I'm going to try to get back into some Last of Us. We're going to pick up the game after, like, how long have we dropped it? I don't know. I'm sure I'm going to remember. Here's the thing. I'm a professional, and I'm going to remember what all of the buttons do. And we're definitely going to be making those pro plays. That's what's going to be happening. What's not going to be happening is a fumbling, kind of like we never make any progress, and you know, like that's not going to happen. What's going to happen is loads of progress. And you know, we're gonna really hit it and get it done. What's not gonna happen is we play 10 minutes of The Last of Us, say fuck this, and play pinball all night. That won't happen at all. So yeah. Books, you don't have to remind me. We all know it. We all carry that. At least I carry that. That's a burden. I feel like that's gonna be on my tombstone. It's like, you're stuck in a garden fumbling and dying without a lot of progress. Remember that? I'm gonna be like, yeah, I remember that. I came back from the dead to tell you that I remember that, and you don't have to put that on my tombstone. So that is the glass for that. I don't know if that necessarily looks great. Man, I want this to look better, and I don't want to think about it. I just want it to work. We're at that stage of the night. Yeah, I don't know if any of that was positive. We might just keep it. We might just keep it like that. Maybe we'll do the grad and not the knockout. Stuck in a garden with not a lot of progress. Yeah, may he rest in peace. But we know that he never will, because he'll still be thinking about being stuck in that garden with not a lot of progress. So this wasn't working, and now we're improvising a solution. Alright. I mean, maybe that works a little better. I mean, I don't know. Maybe I just gotta select the whole damn thing instead of trying to get, like, weird and artsy. My phone's, like, going nuts because I have 2 auctions that are ending right now. If you can hear the buzzing. I sold some Sega CD games. Cashed out of my Sega CD collection. Pink looked okay. Yeah. You were digging the knockout? Oh my god. Guys, we can't go back. I think that's what we want. That is kind of where we want to be. That's looking a little more like glass. Texas Ground Zero, please. I've owned it once already, boys. We don't have to go back. We were trying to go forward. Alright, so this is gonna be some bullshit because we're like messing with the word balloon and we have to go right up to the word balloon rather than like doing like a loose trace like I've been doing. So we zoomed in. We are right up to the word balloon. Texas Ground Zero, for anyone that doesn't know, is a terrible full motion video game that Boyk's speedran to the credits accidentally. Watched like a 2.5 minute intro and then immediately died. Not that he had any choice, the game just failed him immediately. Yeah, that was a great stream. Boyks does Genesis grab bags. Where he randomly will play Genesis stuff. I think we're done. What does the chat think? What a game. What does the chat think? Are we done? I think it looks good. I mean, shit. I just found something to mess with. The piece of web that wait. What piece of web? Oh, this? Yeah, maybe that was a bad idea. Oh, we dirty now. That you still like the glass knockout? See, now we have a problem, Boykes, because now it's got another layer on top of it of a grad that did not go through this, and I don't know what A, I don't know what the grad was. B, I don't know what % the grad was. So we're gonna do a quick and dirty solution to that, where we take the eraser and we take like a scratchy, take a scratchy thing like that. We set it to like 50%, and we just kind of like, oh no, like it's like diffused light. It's like a little chunky. Done. Done. The vegetables blue. Oh, you didn't like that? Oh, you wanted it darker blue. Well, that's tough. I don't know. I like it light blue. I don't know. Let's now that we're at a place where we are like mostly done. We can see it for what it is. I don't know. What do you think? Darker blue? We could do darker. What if we split it? Split the percentage. 50? That's a nice compromise. This is confusing. Oh my god. Should have been the vegetables blue, but it wasn't, so it's inconsistent. I don't know what you're talking. Oh my god. Should we just... At this point, I can't tell if you guys are fucking with me, or if we should just scrap this whole thing and just start over. At this point, we starting over? Fucking chat. Yeah, I think this came out really good. I'm really happy with it. I'm gonna clean up the title, and I think we're done. The title is gonna be a pain in the ass to clean up. First of all, let's get all of our equipment back. There we go. So I gotta essentially erase the gradient of color, but to do that, there's no easy way to do it. We just gotta like do a manual selection and try to get it as close to this as we can. We're just gonna try to get it good. Is that part of it? That's not part of it. That's the wrong selection. Again, this is something that normally my team of 20 interns would handle. Or they would then delegate to 25 of their interns. Frankly, I don't care as long as it gets done. Look at this guy. Look at this guy. He's a green guy, and he's just like hanging out. What's that guy's story? Fuck Spider-Man. Who is the guy behind the sign? It's a big bed that hosts 25 interns, guys. I don't know if the intern can sleep at the edge of the bed. Alright. I think that got most of it. Yeah, that got most of it. But we gotta do it on this side too. And on the top, the Stanley Presents. You know what? Let's just go fast and loose. Make a selection like that, erase it, and just see how it is, rather than going in and selecting everything individually. I definitely gotta fix this individually, but the Spider-Man stuff on the bottom is probably alright. We can actually tweak the color on the Stanley Presents Spider-Man stuff too. This is normally stuff that is not on the page, but because we're guerrilla warfare psychopaths that have like scanned in comic books and pulled the black out of them, we have to deal with. Oh god, the 24/7 bed cam? That is a terrible idea. that is not the direction that we need to, that comics needs to move. It doesn't need to get more lewd. It needs to get less lewd. Unless it gets super lewd, and that's the point. What, one or the other. I just recently on my Twitter, which is like right below me, my name down there, I recently retweeted a sick Stan Lee cosplay that a little kid did. He had like the little wrinkly forehead and stuff. He looked like a little old man who was adorable. Super Lewd, the new DC book. Yeah, they will not. No. Has DC ever put out, like, I mean, like, the Vertigo line was instrumental in pushing comics forward into a, not that you guys, like, you're like, hey, the new DC hero, Super Lewd, and I'm like, let me tell you about comic book history. This is not the conversation that you guys wanted, but here we are. Vertigo helped push the line and comic books into the more adult mainstream by being comics for adults. They were the first comics. Alan Moore's Swamp Thing like was instrumental in pushing comics into like, these themes are not for children, these themes are for adults. Like, children will, not that it was like it's sexy all the time, it wasn't that. It was like, no, we're just gonna, like, you know, be adults having a conversation, like themes that were interesting for adults, you know, that kind of thing. And that was new to comics at the time when that came out. And so Vertigo and the imprint that DC made as like an experiment for like adult, quote unquote, I just bumped the thing, adult comics, pushed the medium forward, which was incredible. And there was like, you know, efforts to do that already. Like Jim Steranko did, he worked on a book called, back in the 70s, Nick Fury, Agent of S.H.I.E.L.D., and, you know, there was a Comics Code Authority that was like breathing down his neck, and so he couldn't really do a whole lot. He wanted to make adult comics. He made the first silent comic book, something without any dialogue at all. It was Nick Fury infiltrating a base, and so he was like really pushing the medium as well. And trying to figure out this Spider-Man. So he was pushing the medium too, and like there's these set of panels that are credited as like adult without being adult that he did, where it's like Nick Fury kissing a girl, and then like they go to bed, and then it's a shot of a gun in a holster kind of thing. Like, it's like adults will be like, I know what's happening, but like kids will be like, this is a spy book. They're gonna fight bad guys with that gun in a holster. So I mean, I don't know. There are adult books, and you know, DC does put out adult books, but those aren't the kind of adult things that you are talking about. Like, you're talking about lewd, and there was like subtle, classy lewd back in the day, which I actually really appreciate. I like that stuff. Webbing in the title. There we go. Alright, we spent way too much time on that title. Guys, I think we're done. Are we done? I mean, yeah, Marvel did some racy stuff with She-Hulk in the 90s, yeah, but it was like not, that was like weird fucking fan service that like the 90s were doing, where they were like, this isn't a person. This is like a vehicle for boobs on the Hulk. You know, like those comics are terrible. I mean, they're fine for the time, but I'm just not interested in stuff like that. Yeah, you can Google that on your own time. Yeah, so I think we're done. So I'm gonna be posting this on Twitter if you want to check out like what it looks like not on the stream. You can follow me on Twitter. I'm also gonna be posting it on my Instagram, which is Nick_Filardi. I'm gonna be posting it there. I'm also gonna be, I saved progress shots every time that we went and like had a session. So I'm gonna take those progress shots, I'm gonna throw them into an animated GIF so you can see it unfold before your very eyes. And I'm also gonna, while I post all this stuff too, I'm also gonna post the original so you can see that as well. But I think it came out great. I had a whole lot of fun with this. I love Spider-Man 2099. It was a good way to drag Spider-Man 2099 into the future that I made with Deadpool 2099. Yeah, I couldn't be happier. And we're gonna do some cool stuff. We're gonna do a Danny Moonbeam thing next, probably. I don't know, maybe do some slow flatting so I can show you all my techniques and stuff. Might do a keyboard shot for that so you can see like what's going on, you know, down in the depths. I don't know why I said that. I don't know why it's down in the depths. But yeah, so you can check that out. But for sure, tomorrow we're going to be raising a little hell, and we're gonna be beating up some clickers, and we're gonna do it instead of trying to do it and then failing 5 or 6 times. So join us tomorrow for some video games, and then after that we're gonna be doing some comic books. And thanks for hanging out, guys.